Welcome to the Warp News Report. This week, in fact-based optimistic news from around the world, animal testing is no longer needed to get a drug approved in the United States, and reports show that the dangerous hole in the ozone layer is getting smaller and smaller. In human progress and health tech, the United States Food and Drug Administration will no longer require animal testing to approve new medications. A new law in the United States says that pharmaceutical companies no longer need to conduct tests on animals to get their medicines approved, reports NPR. Instead, the companies can use other methods, such as cell analysis, computer models, and human on a chip, to prove the drug is safe. Companies are still allowed to test on animals if they want to, but hopefully many of the 110 million animals used in animal testing in the US each year will not be subjected to testing in the future. In addition to the new law, the US government has put $5 million into an initiative to reduce the amount of animal testing by helping the pharmaceutical industry develop and use new animal-free methods for testing medicines. New stoves can save hundreds of thousands of lives in Africa. By switching to gas or electricity instead of wood and charcoal, many people would avoid inhaling dangerous gases when cooking. Wood and charcoal stoves are still very common in African homes. Unfortunately, burning wood and charcoal emit dangerous gases that give many people problems with the respiratory tract, which can eventually lead to serious illness and premature death. Switching to gas or electric stoves would save many lives, but not all places are able to make that switch. In order for the authorities to more easily calculate the costs and benefits of switching to alternatives at a local level, researchers at KTH have developed a computer program called OnStove. OnStove shows that replacing traditional wood and charcoal burning stoves in sub-Saharan Africa could prevent as many as 463,000 deaths. Additionally, there would be significant savings in the healthcare industry of $66 billion. The tool has already begun to be used in Kenya to help governments there transition to clean cooking. In environmental news, tobacco companies in Spain now fit the bill for cigarette butt cleanup. Under a new environmental legislation in Spain, tobacco companies are duty-bound to pay for the cleanup of the millions of cigarette butts smokers throw away on the streets each year. The new environmental legislation went into effect last week as part of a package of waste reduction and recycling efforts the country is putting into effect. This new legislation is in line with the new European Union directive, which is set to limit the use of single-use plastic, and it requires polluters to clean up after themselves. Cigarette butts take about 10 years to degrade, and they release harmful chemicals such as lead and arsenic during the process. Sadly, it's one of the most common types of litter. According to the Ocean Conservancy, a nonprofit organization, cigarette butts are also one of the most common kinds of marine pollution as well, and estimates about 5 billion end up in the ocean. In order to tackle this issue further, Spain has around 500 smoke-free beaches to protect public health as well as the ocean and its ecosystem. In health tech news, Spotify founder Daniel Ek wants to revolutionize healthcare with his new startup. Nico Health now offers people the opportunity to scan their bodies and get a complete picture of their health. The technology, which is based on the latest developments in AI and machine learning, makes it possible to quickly and effectively get a detailed picture of the body's condition. The scanning results can be used by doctors to provide patients with a more accurate diagnosis and treatment. With this new technology, the co-founders hope to break down barriers in healthcare and give people better access and more efficient care. He also sees great opportunities to use the technology to prevent disease and improve people's quality of life. In environmental news and human progress, the dangerous ozone hole is getting smaller and smaller. It's progressing slowly, but it's progressing nonetheless. In a few decades, the ozone hole that lets dangerous UV radiation through will be a thing of the past. According to a new report from the World Meteorological Association, WMO, slowly but surely, the Earth's ozone layer is recovering. Scientists discovered in the 1980s a growing hole in the layer that protects us against dangerous UV radiation, which is harmful to both humans, animals, and plants. The global agreement called the Montreal Protocol, put in place to phase out chemicals that destroyed the ozone, meant that the hole began to shrink. And according to the latest calculations, the hole should be completely gone over the Arctic by 2045 and over the Antarctic by 2066. Almost 99% of the chemicals that destroy the ozone have now been phased out, and the WMO believes that the Montreal Protocol can serve as an example for other environmental work.